Hi everybody, Sharyl Attkisson here. Step one of what I see now is an operation to control our information landscape started some years ago, and it consisted of making us first think we wanted or needed to have our information controlled so that we wouldn't fight it, we would invite it, we would embrace it, we would demand it. Because just a couple of years ago, it would have been unthinkable for a third party, whether it was Facebook or Google, social media, or whether it was a news division, or whether it was a journalism group, a nonprofit, the government. It would have been unthinkable a few years ago for them to name themselves into a position where they insert themselves between you and the information and tell you what to think and what's true and claim to be curators. I mean, it's so commonplace now, you may have forgotten there was a time when this was unthinkable. But first, those who wanted to control the information had to create a market for what they were about to do. And they convinced us through a series of acts that I've talked about first in my last book, The Smear, and now in my new book, Slanted, How the News Media Taught Us to Love Censorship and Hate Journalism. They had to create this demand where we would accept the notion and embrace the notion that there would be these third-party curators who would tell us what to think and tell us what to believe and stop us from seeing things that these third-party curators deemed to be untrue or unthinkable or inappropriate. It's a very dangerous trend in my view when you understand the players behind it and the motivations behind it and the impact on our information landscape, which is historic and is drastic, especially as we move into the 2020 election. To read more about this, please consider pre-ordering Slanted today, How the News Media Taught Us to Love Censorship and Hate Journalism.